welcome back. So in today's world, it is so hard to understand what we should and shouldn't eat, what's good for me, what's bad for me. So we're going to dive into that. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Bridget Eslinger. I'm a certified integrative nutrition and functional medicine health coach. I'm board certified by the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. I'm also a certified essential oil coach and deal with alternative medicine. I'm a strong advocate for self-care and holistic healing. I focus on reversing autoimmune diseases, and I want to share my story with you. It is my purpose in life. I have found that through my health journey. 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease called mixed connective tissue disease. So you might be saying to yourself, what's mixed connective tissue disease? What does that mean? It's exactly what I thought as well. So mixed connective tissue disease does not full-on represent like rheumatoid arthritis, Sjögren's disease, type 1 diabetes, or type 2 diabetes. You have a whole host of things that are happening within your body. So they say you have mixed connective tissue disease that affects the tissues in our body. Through that, numerous doctor's visits, going to rheumatologists, being told that I would have to take a drug that would cause blindness. I'm like, blindness on top of everything else I'm experiencing? What do you mean? That was it for me. That was the end of that. I wanted to take my health into my own hands. So that's exactly what I did. 5 years ago, I dove back into the books, researched autoimmune conditions. What are they? How do we reverse them? How did I get here? And through that journey, I ended up at the Cleveland Clinic through the Functional Center of Medicine, and they were awesome. They helped me through this. They coached me back to health, and I did not take one prescription drug. So I owe my life and my health to not only the Cleveland Clinic, but Dr. Mark Hyman, who I was studied under in functional medicine. So I'm following my purpose, and through this, I've learned so much, and I want to share it with you. So let's figure out and remember how we all got here. Isn't that incredible? Think about that. 9 months to create a human being. I show you that just to reflect back and show you how amazing our bodies are. If our bodies can be created, this entire system, the network of systems can be created in 9 months, and we're brought into this world, we continue to destroy what we created in 9 months for the rest of our lives versus taking care of this precious vessel that we live in. The human body is made up of 50 trillion cells. Think about that. That's incredible. Every second, each cell in your body coordinates billions of chemical reactions. It's communication. It's how our body moves. It's how our body delivers blood. Your heart beats 100,000 times a day. Now, everyone's different, but roughly 100,000 times a day. We pump roughly 8,000 quarts of blood through 60,000 miles of vessels. Right now, 6 quarts of blood circulating through the body 3 times every minute, just for me to tell you that. Every month, you completely regenerate your outer layer of skin. Every single month. Our skin is our largest organ. So what are we doing to take care of it? Think about everything that our skin comes in contact with every day. Think about how your heart beats and you don't even have to ask it. Think about how your blood circulates through your body and you don't even know it's happening. You don't even think about that when you wake up in the morning, right? It just happens. That's pretty profound. So every 3 months, you completely rebuild and replace that blood supply. Every 3 months. So when we talked about the 9 months to be born into this world, if you just gave your body 3 months and you treated it with the utmost respect and gave it the food that's needed to nourish it and, thrive, oh my gosh, would that quelch disease? I have to say it probably would. Every 10 years, adults completely rebuild and remodel every bone in their body. So every 10 years, you get a new skeleton. Did you know that? That's pretty amazing. Children rebuild their skeleton every year. So as they're growing, it's all more important that children have the actual good nutrition in their bodies and are vibrant and understand that their bodies are so precious, but yet they're abused so much as children. We don't think about that. Teens acquire 50% of their adult bone mass between 12 and 18 years of age. I just think it's incredible. So when we talk about you are what you eat, you truly are. If we're not getting good nutrition in our bodies every single day, how can your body replace its blood supply every 3 months? How can you rebuild that skeleton every 10 years? How can your body ward off infection and disease? It can't. It struggles. I use this analogy, and I think it's great because it kind of puts it into perspective. If you own a gasoline vehicle and you go to the gas station and you put diesel fuel in that vehicle, is it going to run very well? Or just the opposite, if you have a diesel vehicle and you put gas in a diesel truck, how long is that engine going to run? It's going to run for a while, right? You're going to be able to go down the road for a while, but eventually your vehicle is going to start to break down. You're not going to understand why it's not running right, but yet you keep putting gasoline in a diesel engine. Not a good combination. Our bodies are the same way. They need the right type of fuel in order to propel themselves forward. So let's talk about primary food. 2 things today, primary and secondary food. So let's look at this wheel. There's a lot of things in this circle of life is what I call this. So you have your spirituality, creativity, finances, career, education, your health, your physical activity, home cooking, your home environment, relationships, social life, joy. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of food, right? That is the biggest part of our day-to-day life. If one of those items on that wheel is out of whack, like it's a wheel or a spoke on your bicycle or a tire goes flat, you're not really going to be well-rounded. You're not going to be balanced, and you're probably going to feel that. You're going to feel the effects of that. So if you're allowing stress to creep into your life, anxiety, depression, all those things can make this wheel out of balance. So it's really knowing and understanding where you're at on this circle of life. So take a moment and look at that. Ask yourself, where might I be out of balance? Where might I dedicate a little more time to bring my life back into balance? What does primary food really look like? Like, how can I fix my primary food circle of life? So here are some tips. Be mindful each day. Clear your mind. Feel your breath. Hear your heartbeat. Slow down. Sit down to eat. Put your utensils down between each bite. Chew your food thoroughly. Savor the food's sights, tastes, smells, and texture. Be grateful for the nourishment and the body's ability to digest that, right? So oftentimes we don't really sit down and think about our food. We just wolf it in and go about our day-to-day life. What is that food doing for your body? Are you eating empty calories? Those are things we really need to think about, and I'll talk about that more in just a second. Focus. Bring awareness to each and every day's activities. Give full attention and devotion to each task. So what do I mean by that? I'm presenting this information to you here today. I'm giving you my full attention. I'm giving my whole heart to you today to share the information with you that I have learned through my journey. So it could be that. It could be you're doing a load of laundry. Be fully present. Don't be thinking about things that are around you or other things that may step into the line sight or step into your lane. Focus on doing that laundry. It could be driving a car. Focus on driving the car. Don't focus on your cell phone. Don't focus on the radio. Don't focus on your GPS. Focus on driving the car. Those are some examples. Listen. These are we don't listen today in society much anymore. Listen to everyone and everything. Listen with intention. Actively and mindfully give your family, your friends, your coworkers, your undivided attention. And if you can't give them the undivided attention, tell them so. Say, I'm sorry, but I'm busy right now. Can I come back to you in 5 or 10 minutes? Or schedule some time with them when you know you can actively and give them your full undivided attention. That is important to those people. They're coming to you for a reason. And same thing goes with you. When you want to have a conversation with somebody and you want them to give you their undivided attention, does it hurt your feelings when you feel like they weren't listening or they didn't hear a word you said? So remind yourself of that when somebody comes to you and wants to have a conversation. Stop. Just stop and breathe. Again, remember these things happen. Our body does this for us and we don't even realize it. So just breathe. Take a few breaks. Take some deep breaths several times during the day. So right now, let's do that together. Just a big, deep breath. See, that feels so much better. Think about when you do that maybe 3 or 4 times. Stop yourself every hour. Get up and walk away from your computer. You know, go step away and just focus on your breath. It only takes a couple minutes or a couple seconds. Some more tips for your primary food circle of life. Appreciate nature. Go take a walk. Drink in nature's beauty. Engage your senses, your sight, your smell, the sounds, feel of the air, the rain, the snow. Whatever your climate is, feel that on your skin, on your face. Take in all those smells and the sounds, the birds chirping, just the rain falling on a roof. Take time to enjoy that. It really calms the body. And again, get away from the busyness of life. You can do this in just a minute or two. Just step away from the craziness. Feed your body well. Your mind and body do well when nourished properly. I just spoke about this, right? We need this to grow and prosper. Focus on fresh picked local foods from farmers markets. Choose seasonal, colorful produce packed with phytonutrients. That's what our body thrives on. That's what our body needs. Our body doesn't need Doritos and Cokes and Snickers. It does not know what that food is, right? Those are just a bag full of chemicals. So think about that. Be still. Soothe your mind, body, and soul. Reflect on each day. Avoid filling all of your time with activities. We are all so gung-ho about, I have 5 minutes, what can I do with that 5 minutes? What about yourself? Find time just to sit in silence. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to be doing something every second of the day when you're up. Do a fast from the fast, right? The fast pace of life. Step away from the news media, social media, music, magazines, newspapers. 1 hour before bed, try dimming all your lights. Turn off all of your electronics. Take a warm shower or bath. Diffuse some essential oils. Again, prepare yourself for a good night's sleep, which is so essential for our bodies to grow, develop, and prosper and ward off disease. Gratitude. At least 3 times a week, write down 5 things that you are grateful for. Just, 3 times a week, 5 things. What are they? It most always brings you back to the present. What matters most to you? Gentle movement. Open up the body with long, controlled stretches. Think of like stretching each limb. Yoga, Pilates, and swimming are great for this. And our bodies need that controlled movement. Do that every day. Just a couple minutes a day, that's all we need. Those are some great tips for your primary food. So now let's talk about secondary food. Secondary food is really the food we eat, and it changes everything. So what is the definition of food? It is a substance consumed to provide nutritional support for an organism. That's us. We're an organism. It is usually of plant-based or animal origin. The substance is ingested and assimilated by the organisms in our body for energy to maintain life and stimulate growth. So that's a pretty long definition of food, and it communicates with every cell of our body, right? That's what that communication channel is. So the question is, are you eating real food or are you eating Frankenfood? So when you sit down for a meal, ask yourself that question. Am I eating something that is real, that was really grown on a tree somewhere or in the ground somewhere, or is this a processed, chemical-laden food that I think is food, and we're going to put that in our body? So today's diet, the standard American diet, is SAD, S-A-D, standard American diet. Most of us lack proper nutrients to support good health. So like I said, we need to go back to the basics. Go back to the hunter-gatherer days. What did they eat? Nuts, seeds, good meat, good quality meat, fruits and vegetables. Those are what our bodies really sustain on. So secondary food, eat whole food. Again, ask yourself, can I pick this from a tree, a bush, a vine, or can I pull it from the ground? Try to stay as close to the source as possible. I get that things have to be processed and we buy them in packages in the store, but honestly, buy organic. All of our food has been heavily contaminated with chemicals, which then flood our bodies, flood our systems, and it is so hard for our bodies to digest those chemicals. So they get stacked up in our systems. They move throughout our body, and that is, again, where disease sets in. Stay home and cook. Make it an experience with your family. Enjoy the time together and know what you are eating. Again, when we go out to eat, those things are great, but you don't know what you're getting. Where did that food come from? Where was it sourced? How much processing has it gone through? All those things are good questions you should ask yourself. Now, I'm not saying there's not good restaurants out there that have good quality food, but it does take time to find that and research that and know if you're going to take that time to go eat out, what does that mean and what are you putting in your body? And finally, avoid sugar and gluten. These are highly inflammatory and can cause a disease-enriched environment in our body. More on those topics in the coming months, so stay tuned for those. So here we are. We're at the end of this journey together, and I just want to take a moment and share this with you because I really want to know, how does your story end?
In 160 seconds, you will decide how this story ends. This is a story about us, the indoor generation. A generation that spends 90% of its life indoors. It all started the day we left nature behind. We filled our homes with lovely things and all the stuff we wanted. Our home became places you would never want to leave. Artificial light replaced daylight. And we built our houses so that nothing could escape. We cooked and showered, breathed and played, slept and sweated. But we had closed ourselves in. To a point where nothing could get out. So when the air turned bad inside, we tried fixing it with chemicals. And we put in little artificial suns everywhere to make the darkness bearable. That's when things started to happen. hard to notice at the beginning. Some needed help to sleep, to breathe, to not itch. Many of us even started to feel sad. So we turned on happy lamps to make the sadness go away. Then scientists discovered that the air inside our homes is up to 5 times more polluted than the air outside. And that the lack of daylight can affect children's learning and increase blood pressure. It turns out that kids' rooms often have the highest concentration of toxins in the house. In fact, millions of homes are unhealthy to live in. They discovered that living in damp and unhealthy homes increases the risk of asthma by 40%. And I learned that millions of people like me suffer from asthma and allergies caused by a bad indoor environment. And so here we are. How the story ends is up to you, because it's not written yet. If you care about the younger generation, do something. Begin to think and live differently. Let life fresh air into your life again. Even small changes can make a huge difference for coming generations. Learn how at theinnergeneration.com.
Pretty amazing. I share those videos with you only so you can think back and engage yourself on what might be important to you. It's a lot of information we've covered today. I hope you've enjoyed it. So take time, just pick one thing. You know, you don't have to dive into all of that and try and make a whole life change. Pick one thing. Maybe it is that you just focus on one food group. I'm going to introduce one good food group or one good meal a day. Maybe it's I want to remove the chemicals from my home. You know, maybe it is just get some fresh air and get some more gentle movement into your day-to-day life. Whatever it is, pick one thing and start there. That's what's important. We will have other series. I'm going to be talking about inflammation, gluten, and sugar, and vitamins, and supplements. This whole series is here for you and to help you on your health journey, wherever you may be. I just want to share this information with you. It has helped me. I've changed my life. And again, it's my purpose. So you can find more information out at Health and Wellness Bootcamp. I'm here at the OSU Endeavor Centers in Piketon, Ohio. You can reach me on Facebook at Health and Wellness Bootcamp. You can reach me on my website at healthandwellnessbootcamp.com. I would love to hear from you. If you have questions, concerns, something didn't resonate with you today, or maybe something did resonate with you and you want more information, I would love to hear from you. So please reach out. Until next time, be whole.
Just when you thought that was the end of the video, here's Bridget to remind you about what primary foods really are in your day-to-day life.
You may be wondering, what's primary food? You may think that's what we consume, what we eat every day, but that is farthest thing from the truth. Primary food is our spirituality, our creativity, our finances, our career, our education, our health, our physical activity, home cooking, our home environment, our relationships, social life, the enjoyment we get out of life. That is our primary food. That's what I call our circle of life. And that is really what makes up the crux of our everyday. Even though we do eat from time to time, primary food consumes us more than what I call our secondary food. Primary food is so important. If one of those elements is out of whack, out of balance, then you will struggle to be healthy. So secondary food is really what we eat, and it is important. It should be whole foods. It should be integrated in our day-to-day life. We should really take time to enjoy that food and know that it's nourishing our bodies. So how are you going to get your primary and secondary food?